Hello everyone, welcome back. 50% of my views come from the United States, but I guess Costco is everywhere, in other countries too, right? Well, we're gonna try and recreate the Costco hot dog experience today. I tell people that my channel is about learning to think like a chef, but boy, today was weird. I learned something today, but let's get into that later. I started on this because I saw a Reddit thread talking about this. How do we get the same experience at home as we do at Costco? But more about that later. Let's dive in. Yeah, we're gonna need hot dogs and beef broth. That's for the second test. Anyways, according to the thread, the experience boils down to two things. The hot dog sticks to the bun. And what was the second thing? Oh yeah, they boil the dogs. See what I did there? The experience boils down to, never mind. I got the famous Costco hot dogs. The same ones in the meal they sell in the store. Here, you can see the label. It's the quarter pound plus, right there. So we're gonna test two things. First, the stickiness, and then we're gonna do a taste test with the beef broth. I'll explain later. And I got their buns too, at least as close as I could get it. This is what I ate when I was there. The difference is that their bun had sesame seeds. But that can't matter, right? We're going for stickiness. So let's do it. The first test I did was how to get that dog to stick to the bun. The suggestion was to steam the buns. And the boiling helps too. So I boiled some dogs to make sure I knew how long to keep them in the hot water. I tested intervals from 1 minute to 5 minutes. And guess what? It took only 3 minutes for the entire hot dog to get fully heated. I still tried the 5 minute, but it was almost too hot. So that did it for me. As long as I kept it for 5 minutes, I was assured of a hot dog. Now, on to the buns. The idea behind this test was that steaming the buns would hydrate them and leave them, I guess, moist? So then they would stick to the buns. Wait, hold on. Would that really add to the taste? Chefs talk about texture in foods, but this? Really? The comments in the thread said yes, so let's try for that. This time, I tested intervals of 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, and 3 minutes. This was according to the suggestion on the thread, and the results were interesting. After the steaming, I put some heated dogs in the steam buns and wrapped them up in tin foil, rather like they do at Costco. And I marked them with a pen so that I would remember. And I let them sit there for 15 minutes. I figured most Costco hot dogs sit around for a while. And if the buns would stick, 15 minutes should be enough time. And now, let's look at the results. Did we get ourselves into a sticky situation? Looking from the shortest interval from left to right, we see that the results were, well, take a look. The 30-second bun had no chance to adhere to the dog. The steam hadn't penetrated into the bun, so they were pretty much separate items. The 1 minute bun didn't show much difference either. Yes, the bun was a bit softer, but still, it wasn't enough to stick to the dog. The 2 minute bun was definitely a bit moist, but still, there was no stickiness to be found. And as for the 3 minute bun, well, it's hard to see here, but yes, the dog did stick to the bun, but it was barely there. Here, I put the dogs on a plate so that you can see better. Only on the 3 minute dog do you see any of the bun attached, and that's pretty much it. The other hot dogs were heated, well cooked, and wet when I placed them in the bun. Yes, I took the dogs directly out of the warm water and put them in the buns. So it should have helped with the stickiness, but no, only the 3 minute bun. And let's admit the truth, that is a sad looking bun. I pressed a bit on the foil wrap to help, but all it did was squish the bun. Now, we'll move on to the taste test, which I'll explain, but if you have any suggestions to improve the stickiness of the buns, let me know in the comments. I'm feeling a bit defeated right now because I don't believe more time will necessarily result in a better stickiness. I'm missing something maybe? Let me know. Okay, the taste test is about how to boil the dogs. There was a suggestion that boiling the hot dogs in beef stock would improve the flavor. So let's test that now. I had 2 pots boiling with water and beef stock. It's the low sodium organic brand that you saw at the start. By the way, one of the things that you learn in culinary school is that nothing has less flavor than water. So I did expect that the flavor would improve with the beef stock or any other stock, but did it? Let's find out. Okay, wait, hold on. One last thing to mention. I had this brainstorm that I was steaming the buns at too high a heat and for too short a time. So what I did was set the heat to low, still maintaining the steam, and steam the buns for 10 minutes. That's got to be the key, right? Let's take a look. So I wrapped up the dogs in the 10-minute buns and labeled them as beef and water. Yeah, there's no way this is a blind taste test, but I should be able to taste the difference in the 2 hot dogs, right? Well, the extra steaming was a disappointment. All it did was make the buns soggy and more compressed. I didn't see any more stickiness than the prior version. In fact, there was less. And I even squeezed the foil wrap a bit more. And what did we get? Pretty sad buns. As for the taste test, which one tasted better? Ta-da! Yes, it was the one boiled in beef stock, but not for the reason that you might think. You see, I wondered why I liked the beef stock version better because the actual flavor wasn't that different. When you bit into it, one of the dogs didn't scream, "Flavor!" Then I looked at the package and read this. One serving has 1,280 milligrams of salt. Yeah. Okay, we all know that packaged foods have tons of salt for enhancing flavor and as a preservative. But in this case for me, it was way too much. So somehow the beef stock was masking the intensity of the salt flavor, and that made it taste better to me. So that's it. Let me know if you think I can improve the process. Comment below on anything that you would change, modify, or delete. What do you think happened to the buns? If I get enough suggestions, I'll do a follow-up video and try again. Until then, later.